Blast me too, Electia. It's time for the Mad Merlins Warhammer 40,000 Imperium Journey. Issue 50, Part 2, Gallery and Mission. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Mad Merlins Warhammer 40,000 Imperium Journey. So we're back with issue 50 and here we have the one model of the Royal Court that we are using in this issue's battle report, and it is the Canopic Reanimator. So as you can see, I've painted it up in my Canopic Saltec Dynasty colour scheme. I've given it a coat of Storm Shield varnish and given it a nice textured base with some snow effect to match in the rest of my Necrons. This is only up to battle ready. I haven't gone the extra detail of adding on extra highlights yet. I might do at a later date, but for this particular model, I think this will suffice and look just as menacing on the tabletop. So, let's have a look at his rules before we dive into today's mission. So here we have the datasheet for him. As we can see, he is a unit of a single model, has a movement of 8, weapon skill and business skill of 4+, strength and toughness of 5, 6 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 10 and a 3+ save. He has 2 atomizer beams and he has his Reanimator's claws. So each atomizer beam is an assault 3 weapon, strength 6, -2, 1 damage or a 12-inch range. And the Reanimator claws are strength of model, -2 and 1 damage. He has living metal and command protocols rules as per the faction rules. He explodes on a 6, dealing a mortal wound to each unit within 3 inches. And he has his reanimation beam. So in your command phase, you can select a friendly unit within 6 inches. Till starting next command phase, add 1 to your reanimation rolls. A single unit can only be targeted by 1 reanimation beam at a time. So if you have multiples in your army, you can't have 2 targeting the same unit. And on the reverse, so we've got combining abilities. So combining your reanimation beams with, say, a resurrection orb will give your units a much better chance of getting back up. And so it shows he's got these aura abilities, so make sure you try and keep your units within the maximum range to make the best use of that reanimation beam rule. Speaking of reanimation, so this week's mission is titled Reanimation. So we pit the Crypt deck against the Battle Sisters Canoness there, in a nice brutal conflict. So I'll get the battlefield set up and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're all set up. And as you can see, we have 2 objective markers in the center of the battlefield. So this is where 1/2 of each of the Canopic Lord is. Legs there, head there. And it's the Necron's job to get there and reactivate him by doing a special action. So any unit in the army can do so, as long as it doesn't have a rule that says they can't do actions. So the Necrons, we have the Crypt deck, Technomancer, 10 Warriors, the Reanimator, the Spider, and 3 Scarab Swarms, facing off against everything we have for the Sisters. So I've deployed the Battle Sisters, the Canoness, Pentia Engine, the Pentia, Mistress, the Archiflagellants are in the building, and I got my Seraphim in Deep Strike. So for this mission, I've decided to have Divine Guidance as my active rule for the Sisters. So Exploding 60s, which will help improve armor penetration on my shooting attacks. Necrons, I don't have any abilities active as I don't have a noble in command, but technically, the update FAQ for the Necrons does say any Necron character. Doesn't matter what you have as your warlord, as long as it's a Necron Cryptek or Noble, you can still make use of the command protocols. But for this mission, we will just, as we have no Noble, we have no command protocols to activate. But I think we could probably make a good early victory anyway. Probably turn 3 if we get lucky. So, let's get on with some dramatic reading before we get into turn 1. Reanimation. The Destroyer cults plague the Hive City, seeking to destroy organic life in all its forms. An Adeptus Sororitas patrol has managed to bring down a Skullpack Lord and buried a monstrous noble beneath a mound of rubble. Alerted to the insane noble's fall, Necron reinforcements surge towards its known location. The Cryptek commander has been ordered to reanimate the Skullpack Lord and turn it loose upon the Imperium's obstinate defenders. Necron's Technomancer. Reanimate royalty. The Technomancer leads a Necron strike force into the depths of the Hive. There, he and his warriors must locate the remains of the Skullpack Lord and bring this insane, murderous noble back to life. Under the leadership of their lord, perhaps the Destroyer cults can turn the tide of the war. Adeptus Sororitas, Canoness, sweep and clear. The Canoness patrols the depths of Electia Prime, seeking to annihilate the Destroyer cults and end their predatory threat. The Skullpack Lord has been laid low by their holy fire. The Xenos remains must be incinerated before its allies can use their techno-sorcery to bring the lethal noble back to life. So that's our mission. Let's see who gets first turn. As usual, green for Necrons, yellow for Sisters, and the Sisters get first turn. So the defenders can react. And we'll begin with turn 1. Well, turn 1's pretty quick. Everything just moved up. Haven't been able to activate the Necrons' objective yet. So everything is still to play for. The quickest unit of the game so far is the Warriors, who rolled a 6 for their advance. Everything else, especially on the Sisters side, rolled lower than a 3. But either way, we are all moved up and ready to begin. Turn 2. Okay, end of turn 2. The Spider has moved up to the objective and started the reanimation. If by the end of the command phase, Necron command phase next turn, he's still there, I'm deeming the Necron's victorious, as it doesn't really specify when the objective is completed. So I'm going to say end of the next command phase. Down here, the Pentia engine charged in. I actually remembered I get Miracle Dice, and my pool ended up a 5 before, and I've got 2 1s. So I used the 5 and rolled a 1 on the remaining 1, but I needed a 6 to get to the closest warrior anyway. He killed 5, 4, 2 got back up, and another 3 reanimated thanks to the Technomancer there. Technomancer and the Reanimator opened their guns on the Repentia there and took out one of the number. It's now down to the Sisters to try and eliminate that Spider, otherwise the Necrons will be victorious. So, we're on to Sisters, turn 3. Okay, end of turn 3, and the Necrons are in a sorry state. The combination of the Reanimator and the Cryptek is really making those warriors hard to shift. Though I've had a lot of high AP attacks, the warriors have been getting back up with their +1 reanimation. So instead of a 5 up, it's 4 plus to reanimate. I've been passing a good amount of my reanimations. Turn 3, and I've still only lost a single warrior. So the Battle Sisters in their turn obliterated the spider. Canoness shot with her plasma pistol overcharging. Thanks to her Rod of Office I got the reroll, and I managed to do 2 wounds with the plasma pistol. Seraphim Superior's pistol didn't work as well. So it was all up to combat. The Canoness did 3 wounds, and the Archoflagellants managed to finish that spider off as it failed 1 of its 6 saves. It didn't explode, but it did have a lot to contend with. The Necrons are now trying to shift the Repentia Mistress and the Penitent Engine, but the Sisters' turn, they're going to pile down towards the Necron side, and I think it's going to be hard for the Necrons to win. I might play next turn just for the fun, but it's definitely not going to win for the Necrons. So, here we go then with turn 4. Okay, that is the end of turn 4, and there won't be any chance of the Necrons to emerge victorious. So I'm going to call the battle a Imperium Victory, so the Scorpec Lord is still in pieces. For that turn, the Sisters moved, shot the Reanimator, causing 5 wounds. It's missing just 1. I should have overcharged with the Canoness's plasma pistol, as it actually hit without needing a reroll. The Seraphim did pretty good with their Rod of Office from the Canoness in their shooting and charging. Reanimator did recover 1 wound in its turn. Other than that, there's just a lot of fights, and I think eventually my warriors would slowly phase out. So, man, I miss that old rule. Necrons would phase out rule used to be for the Necrons if they got down to half their starting strength, they would just all disappear off the battlefield and you'd automatically lose. It's kind of annoying, but it's so Necron-y, really, I suppose. Everything just mysteriously disappears, only to repair and then come back even worse. But that is it for the battle. So, all what's left to do is see what's in our next Imperium. So, our next Imperium is issue 51. We get 2 new paints. So, Pallid Witch Flesh, which we'll be using to highlight a lot of our Space Marines and Sisters robes and Purity Seals parchment. And also getting Dawnstone, so this will be highlighting a lot of all our black details. So both Necrons, Sisters, and even our Space Marines, anything that is black, will get a edge of Dawnstone. It's a nice grey, goes on a lot of things. Not too sure about the paint guide, but you could even give it a dry brush over some of the terrain pieces. Moving on, for our next 2 issues after that, 52 and 53, is part 1 and 2 of the Triarch Stalker. So this is a massive Necron model. I think it's the largest Necron model in the collection. And it is a beast. I've seen a video already about part 1. While you can build the first part of it with the 2 frames you get in 52, I would recommend waiting to have 53 in hand so you can make the complete model with all 3 frames. Of course, those of us with a subscription will be getting those 2 issues together anyway. And we're also, anyone who's ordered from Forbidden Planet, 52 and 53, I had my notice saying that has been shipped as well. So I'll be getting my 2 Triarch Stalkers once all my orders come in. I'm thinking I'll have one with the Twin Gauze and one with the Heat Ray, because they both sound cool. But in 52 we get our build guide, 53 our paint guide, and just for the no, 54 is the last of our battle sisters. So that's 3 sisters, 2 seraphim, 1 repentia, and 1 archoflagellant. But that is it for this video. That was issue 50 of the Imperium magazine. So, I think perhaps next time round I would keep the warriors back a little bit more. Try and weaken the sisters through shooting. I mean, it didn't help that the Pentium engine charged headlong in. If I'd played the longer game, weaken one side of the sisters, I would have had a better chance to actually get to the objectives at later game and hopefully win, as it's a bit ambiguous as to when the action is completed. You could say it's completed automatically, or as I did, you could say it's completed by the end of your next command phase. But as the magazine does say, if it's not done by the end of the 5th round, you could even say it's done by the end of that turn. Had a lot of fun with the models in this setup. The Sisters of Battle were really cool to make use of all the Acts of Faith, the Rites of Battle, and the Zealot rule was really fun for all my close combat Pentium units. The Reanimator and the Technomancer with a big unit of warriors is an amazing combination. Turning your 5-up into a 4-up for your Reanimation. And healing D3 models each turn is an amazing combination. Keep these 2 units behind warriors. Perhaps at a later date, if we get the chance to field a unit of 20 warriors, I'd suggest doing that in a game, because that could be really hard to shift. 20 warriors with a 4-up armor, 4-up reanimate. Boy, that is going to be hard to shift. Providing, of course, you can keep your other units alive. Living metal does come in handy, although it is only a single wound each time. Luckily though, with the Technomancer combination, you can heal a Necron unit. And there's also the... oh, what's the other Necron unit? There's another Necron unit we've got that can actually help heal and give a bit more durability. The Chronomancer's invuln might be useful, because the Reanimator doesn't have an invuln. So it is pretty susceptible to mortal wounds. But other than that, I think that was a fun game. Definitely could be replayed and done a little bit more strategically. I could really do it with an opponent that isn't myself. But I guess when you're playing to win for either side, you're never the winner or the loser. So yeah, it's just good fun. But that is finally it. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for watching. If you think I deserve it, please give this video a like, share it with your social media groups, and also leave a comment in the description down below. I might plan on starting to ask a question of the video like some of the other YouTubers do. Try and get the comments building up a bit more. I have noticed that I had, I think it was 177 views on one of my Imperium videos. That was insane. Thank you all for that, and I've had a few more subscribers as well lately. Again, thank you all for that. If you don't already, please do subscribe for more mad content. And I will see you next time. There are a few videos coming next week, and I will definitely look to do my project video for you all. That'll be me from my paint desk with pretty much everything that is going to be happening in and around the Mad Merlins studio anytime in the near future. So again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.